All right. Well, this project was designed about a decade ago. It was City Road in South Bank had about a 40-story height limit, and this was a site on a corner, and we thought that it should be this continuous height just produced a wall of buildings, which was significantly, pretty developer driven. It was a flat skyline, and we put an argument to the planners that the corner of City Road and South Bank Boulevard should be marked by a taller building, which was fine. Excuse me, got rid of that. We got a building permit for a taller building based on, we didn't actually go to VCAT, the neighbours supported it, and we had a consultation with the community, and it was okay. And then the strange thing happened. The Minister for Planning encouraged us to go higher because he thought that Melbourne needed well, icons is a pretty hackneyed word, but buildings that stood out as skyline elements. And he identified this as a site that could take a taller building. We ended up with a permit for a 100-story tower, and it worked quite well in the landscape in that position. And South Bank didn't have, apart from Eureka. So the birth of this building was quite interesting. The height wasn't driven just by the developer, but had the strong support of the Minister for Planning, Matthew Guy. And we conceived the building in three sections, really, because of on the streetscape, people have the perception of the building at the foot level and the pedestrian level. So we wanted the podium not to be the usual blank podium hiding car parks. So we'd conceived it as a garden, and then the shaft was broken by the quite dramatic starburst. The curvilinear form softens the thing, the tower in the sky. And the stripes really are a reference to Eureka because we thought that the two buildings should have a relationship. There's almost two chess pieces or two buildings close together like that. It's nice to make a connection. So the building ended up with blue glass and a striped kind of proportional system that broke the form up. The landscape podium is not just for people decorating the exterior, but the effect of it from the inside, because these planter boxes about 4 meters by 4 meters are quite substantial. So what happens is people are parking essentially in a garden setting. So it's the amenity of the car park from the inside, as well as the amenity of the building at street level. The historic building was integrated into the scheme. We've got a couple of, the building was broken up because it's so big, and different communities and different levels have got several entrances. And there's two levels of facilities, one at podium level and one at the Starburst. Yeah, so we worked with Sue Carr on the interiors, and she did a really nice job, a very refined and constrained palette. This is the podium, the top of the podium level. There's a swimming pool and gardens, and nicely scaled to human proportions. It's always a challenge to humanize these buildings, and also to attempt to create a sense of community within them. The Starburst works really well. It's quite a complicated program of swimming pools, health facilities, private dining areas, communal spaces. This was an infinity edge swimming pool, swimming in the sky. It really allows people from all levels of the building to go up here and enjoy really complicated, interesting, highly detailed common facilities. Yeah, this was the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. It's unfortunate that the council made us cage the palm trees in. I would have liked them to be just like the plants, the low plants cascading over the side. The palm tree fronds should have been left free to overhang, but unfortunately we lost that argument. But the landscaping at the front, the whole thing, at pedestrian level becomes quite a sight. And it's only a couple of years old, so that'll develop and complicate and get quite a strong effect. And we wanted to use big trees. We didn't want to use little shrubs and things. And wind is a huge factor because we chose palm trees because at Beaconsfield Parade, for instance, on the seafront, where they get an enormous amount of battering from the ocean breezes, they survive quite well. Very, very hardy plants, and that informed the choices we made for the planting. It's definitely an identifiable landmark from all sorts of locations. The lighting, the client was keen to light it up. Being from Asia, they're very used to having dramatic lighting schemes. We wanted to keep this quite refined, so just lighting the stripes was a good way of doing it, and not being too flashy and complex and screaming out, "Look at me, look at me."
1 minute remaining.
Thank you. Yeah, and the two buildings as a pair marking the South Bank precinct, we're really quite happy with. There's a series of floor plans, which I'm sure you'll be capable of reading. I'm happy just now to move to questions.